Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another thrilling edition of the program. In today's episode of I Don't Want to Buy a Lemon, we are looking at 2010 Mazda BT-50. So the backstory, customer contacted me and said, hey Andrew, I want you to check out this Mazda because my young fella is looking to grab his first ute. Can you please go and check it out and let me know if it's any good? I then proceeded to tell him, just so happens I can definitely do that because I have looked at quite a few cars. So this is the way I'm going to do it. This is the way I go and look at a car. It's not going to be everything in absolute detail, but it's going to help you guys if you ever decide to look at a vehicle in the future. Now, obviously the caveats are budget, what condition, as is, roadworthy, all this kind of stuff. We're going to look at this car as a vehicle that is registered with no roadworthy. So we're going to see what it needs to get it on the road and if it is any good. Now, a quick few rules I have when looking at a car. Number one, you kind of have to gauge the ad, see what sort of reputation in terms of reviews they have on it, say Facebook Marketplace. That can be quite a good indicator. And number two, when you meet the person, you ask them a few simple questions. How long have you had the car? If they said, hey, listen, I've had it for 2 weeks, when you go, this person probably doesn't know the history on the vehicle, that doesn't mean it's a total loss in regards to walking away from it. You just then have to follow up with the questions of, how does it drive? Does it have any mechanical issues? Does it have any problems that I need to know about? And have you done anything to the vehicle? And also, does it have logbooks? Now, you can imagine older vehicles will not have logbooks a lot of the time. So we'll see how we go with this. Obviously, the best indicator of reliability is service history, how long someone's had it, what they can tell you about the vehicle. So to that point, let's check out a few things the seller told me he had done to it. He told me he had wheel bearings, CVs, ball joints, a service done to it, and he has owned it for about 6 months and bought it off the neighbor across the road. I am just going to quickly confirm if that is true. Also mentioned he had new tires put on 6 months ago. That is a green flag, ladies and gentlemen. We got new CVs, new ball joint, upper and lower. Exactly what he told me he did. While we're down here, we're going to check for any rust, any impact damage, any excessive oil leaks, anything like this that is going to hinder either the roadworthy or potentially buying the vehicle. In all honesty, guys, this thing's pretty clean under here. Another little nuance that you might not think about is with these four-wheel drives or these utes or whatever you want to call it, the little things, greasing of the uni joints. Have they been done? Has someone taken care of it? Have they taken it to someone worth their salt in doing the actual job? And I can tell you, he definitely has. See that grease been thrown after the unis have been done? Also, there is no oil leaks under here at all, which is an extremely good sign. Now you might say, oh, he's just washed the engine bay, which could be true. But what you do is, if it's recently washed, you can smell that degreaser, you can smell that detergent, and God forbid they've done the old, I'm going to armor all the whole engine because it makes it look good. Give the center bearing a shake, have a feel of the unis, make sure that they're not too bad. I'm going to be looking at the back of the vehicle, checking for any axle seal leaks, checking for any issues with the shockies leaking, anything like this. He did get new tires put on, and we're going to check the dates, but something I did notice which is pretty interesting is, well, let me show you. Any tire guys in the comment section, is that normal to put that many weights on it? And on the outside? Back under the vehicle, having a look, checking the leaves, seeing if they're sagging, seeing if the bushings are destroyed in the actual shackles. Having a look up the rear end here, seeing if it's been smashed in an accident. Here, there's a port here. You can actually remove this rubber grommet and check the brake shoe level out. Heaps of meat on it. I'm talking like 80–90%. Now, obviously, this is just the rear shoe I'm looking at, but at the end of the day, that's a really good sign. If you look here, it says 1824. Why that is important is because a lot of the time people will put on second-hand tires that may be 10 years old, cracks, hard as a rock, and they do not perform well, and they are sold under the guise of being new tires. 18 stands for the 18th week of 2024. These are new tires, these are good tires. Another green tick. So now we're looking at the engine bay. With this cover so we actually get a good look at everything. Things we're looking for is cracks in the EGR coolers, things like this. Here's the fuel filter. You can see it has a Ryco fuel filter on it. I actually don't know if you can see that, but if you do, that means it's been changed at least at some point. From there, we're going to check this airbox now. We haven't even started the car yet, but we're trying to just do a bit of detective work here and put some pieces together of, is this seller genuine? Is this seller honest? What's going on? Air filter's not too dirty at all. Very nice. Now in regards to mechanical health checks, all this kind of stuff, you can do pressure checking of the cooling system. Obviously you're going to check for some blow by, this, that, the other, but these things come in stages. As in, if you get to a car and you notice, oh my God, this is the biggest piece of shit in the world, you're not going to do it, because you're going to go through it, check everything though. Obviously start the car, take the radiator cap off, have a look, any bubbles, any issues, any lost coolant, anything like this. And then from there you can take it further if you need to. Power steering fluid is bang on full, nice and clean. If you have a smell, there's no detergent. Detergent hasn't been used, as in degreaser, this kind of thing. All the belts look really good. Brake fluid is at max, which makes sense because we're going to check out the brakes in a second. I'm going to say his coolant is a little bit low, so something to be aware of, because I did check the service sticker that was on it. Serviced about 2,000 Ks ago. It's hard for you guys to see in there, but take my word for it. These brakes are sweet. I think they're even using a Bendix pad, which is another good sign. Also, he did say he had the wheel bearings done as well up the front, which definitely makes sense because of all the other stuff he's had done. Check the oil level. Now, 2,000 Ks ago, I go to cars where the service sticker has been done 2,000 Ks and their oil's half empty. Whether that's through leaks, burning it, this kind of stuff. So we're just going to double check. Beautiful, bang on full, very nice. All right, now it's time to fire up. A little bit of a cough on startup, but I think that might have been my user error, not letting the glow plugs heat up a little bit. And saying that, it's pretty toasty today. We're going to be checking for blow by. Not too bad at all. Gonna give a bit of a rev, see if there's any smoke. You guys tell me if there is. Looking good. We got the recall here. We've got timing about done at 149. The Ks are 240, so we're still doing pretty good there. Inside is quite clean, very clean actually for an age of this car. Go through all the windows. Steering wheel, very good condition. This car is very clean inside, underneath, in the engine bay. Another green tick. Now you can hear the air conditioner engage. Let that get nice and cold. Let's see if it's got logbooks. Not too bad. Now I know a lot of you are thinking in the comments, I hear it all the time, Andrew, what if they forged it? What if? You don't know. You don't know. What you can do is assess the vehicle and then make an assumption. Is he lying about this? Is he lying about that? Or is he telling the truth? Does this add up? What's going on there? And so far, and I've spoken to the bloke, and put it this way guys, when you have done this as many times as I've done, literally hundreds and hundreds of cars, you get a real quick gauge of the person, how their behavior is, other kind of intangibles we won't speak about, but so far it seems pretty good. Remember, he had this vehicle for his young fella too, so a lot of parents out there will do this where they'll make the car Mickey Mouse, give it to the mechanic and say, yo, spend the money, I don't care, just make it safe. And I think he's done that so far. So we got a bunch of other receipts here too. Bolsters are in very good condition. You want to make sure the seat belts retract properly. Back of the tray, nice and clean. It's got the canopy on it, a couple of windows. Extremely clean and clear tail lights. Aircon is very cold, very good sign. Check for any hail damage. Do you guys remember I mentioned it's the little things that I'm looking for? Check this out. Brand new wiper blades. Now, when it comes to checking engine health, 99% of people are not going to do a compression test on a diesel because at the end of the day, there are other ways to check it. So I just topped up the coolant reservoir there because when I go for a drive, I'm going to monitor it and see if it's dropped when I come back. Like previously mentioned, we are at the stage now where I'm comfortable going ahead with doing a pressure test, just because I'm not too sure about that low coolant. Although it was just an overflow bottle, but also it's a situation where I'm still liking the car. 5 minutes has gone by, hasn't moved at all, we're looking good. The vehicle is jacked up. The reason I've done this is because it did mention the front wheel bearings were done. I want to feel the wheel bearings, I want to feel the tie rod ends, the rack ends, to make sure this brake caliper isn't sticking. Beautiful there. Nice and solid. Nice and solid. Upper bushings on these shockies are good. You know, if you want to be pedantic, sway bar bushings have a few cracks in them here and there, but remember, for the age and the condition you guys have seen, it's really good. A couple last little things before the test drive. Do a quick scan, make sure there's no hidden engine codes. This isn't the best scanner in the world, but it'll definitely let us know if something weird's going on. We're looking good. Quick voltage check, make sure everything's working correctly. All the lights on, everything going. We're looking good. People say, Andrew, how do you check the brakes on your own like this? Put a pry bar in there. We're looking good. Everything's looking good. I'm obviously going to test the reverse lights, high beams, all this stuff, but I won't bore you with that. Let's go for a drive. In the vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, this already. Now remember guys, I drive a lot of shit boxes. This feels extremely smooth, surprisingly smooth with these big tires on it. Good power, kick it in, pulling like a freight train. That's what I was talking about before, about checking the health of the engine, because the reality is you need to understand that, okay, yes, we can check for blow-by, we can check for excessive smoke, we can check for overheating. If you've driven enough vehicles, you know what they're supposed to feel like. And this comes on beautifully. No smoke out the back, everything's looking good. Very, very, very smooth. I've driven a lot of these BT-50s of this age and they're just clapped out like you wouldn't believe. So we're going to do a little bit of a brake test here, see how everything feels from 60 to about 20 at about 50% pedal pressure. ABS kicks in. That pulls up fine. These are, you know, they're not a quad piston setup. Very basic setup with drums at the back. Pulls up fine. Now, without being disrespectful to the owner and the vehicle, you do want to give it a little bit of a fang though. We need to see if it coughs at high RPM. We need to see if it splutters, if it misfires, if it has any of these kind of issues. I'm going to do another brake test though, because the brakes will be a bit warm and I want to see how they perform now. Someone jumps out in front of you. Oh no, stop! Very, very good. Much better than before. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off in second. I'm just testing this clutch out a bit. This thing's got plenty of power. Very good example of a vehicle in my opinion. Now obviously that's not the only way you test the clutch. Most of the time the clutch will be slipping at the highest torque point in regards to the rev range. So in these diesels, about 2200, 2100, but I've given it a boot full a couple of times and it's going good, but we're going to test this all drive. So we're in 2 high now. We're going to go down to 4 high, neutral, and we're going to go to low range. And you can hear it. You don't want to do this too much on the tarmac, but you can hear the inside edge grabbing because it's in low now. It's working excellent. Just go for every gear real quick. I mean, I'm in 4th gear and I'm going 30 k's an hour, totally fine. 5th, same kind of deal. I'm in 5th gear now and I'm going about 30. It works splendid. So I do have it in full high now. I just want to make sure there's no weird sounds when it speeds up a bit. Feels fine. Definitely you can feel it's working because of the way it's affecting the steering, but perfectly fine. So have you looked at the vehicle?
Yes.
Now, as a caveat, like I say with all these things, I cannot recommend you buy a car, but let me say I'll definitely tell you if I don't want you to buy a car. And this car seems really nice, David, to be honest with you. I've looked at a few of them, driven a bunch of them. It's so smooth, heaps of power, no leaks. Looks like it's definitely been serviced, and it's very clean inside. Aircon works, no weird sound. Just took it through all the four-wheel driving kind of stuff. It's a very nice vehicle. There's no two ways about it. And the guy selling it, he's not full of shit. Everything he said was just spot on, 100%. Didn't sugarcoat anything, had nothing to hide, very honest about everything. And I like that.
Found it, and he looked at it, he goes, Dad, I really like this car, come and have a look at it. This is a nice car, just need a second opinion. Like
it's the little things I was saying in the video. It's the greasing of the uni joints. He's taken it to someone who's done that. It's the wiper blades.
He's a mechanic by trade.
Oh, well, there you go. So he's put he's done it then. There you go.
Yeah.
The only thing I did notice, which I pressure checked because I get pedantic about that stuff, is that overflow reservoir was on low. Now, perhaps he just forgot to top it up, which it seems like it. So I've topped it up. I'm going to check when I get back. Now, have you done a PPSR check on it?
Yes, no money owing, nothing. It's clean.
No money owing, not written off, none of this kind of stuff. There you go. So,
appreciate it, Andrew.
Cheers, thank you. So you guys heard, spoke to the customer, everything is sweet, everything is gravy. I like the car. I cannot personally say to buy it based on liabilities, but I can tell him not to buy it. So you catch my drift. He knows what he's looking at. The guy is a mechanic who owns it, we just found out, but very clean, very nice. But you let me know what you reckon in the comments, what you would look for if you're going to buy a car. If there's anything I've missed, anything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take this back to the guy because I think this is a pretty good car. But you already knew that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, check out the other stuff. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments because I check cars out all the time. If you want to get in contact with me, hit up this Facebook page here. If you want to email me down below. If you want to buy something from the store, buy something from the store. Check out the members section of the channel. It helps me out making these videos for you guys, for your entertainment and educational purposes. Anyway guys, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.